what's up? Welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Chris Blue Nola, back in the building with another reading. This time we're going to do one on Zoo CEO Lemuel Plummer. And I hope I'm saying his name correctly. I'm going to spell it out just in case I don't. But it's Lemuel Plummer. All right. He's been accused of sleeping with some of the cast members, allegedly, right? And this is coming by way of one of the former cast members, Stunner Girl. This all kind of spun some months ago when Stunner Girl left and she made these accusations. This is not the first time we've heard it from Stunner Girl, but it's taking wings because Krishan has now stepped into the chat over a pay dispute, okay? So I don't know why Lemuel is acting like this is brand new to him, because we heard about this maybe when Krishan did her last baddies, right, when she was on the East Coast. I do follow it. I hadn't been following it in the last few months, but I had been following it. So let me say it like that. So Stunner Girl made these claims. This had to be right when Krishan dropped, before Krishan dropped her baby. It really didn't go too far, except in the blogosphere of, you know, baddies and Krishan's people. But now this is taking shape in wings, and this has now hit the actual blog. So I want to know if there's any truth to this stuff. Now, the pay thing, you can sit down and you can, you know, say who's right or who's wrong. He had a lot of support on the pay situation. I don't know if everybody agrees to that, but it seemed like he had a strong amount of support on people feeling like they got paid well. But Stunner Girl, she even said when she left before Krishan dropped the baby, he was trying to underpay her for, I guess, when they were traveling from different venues and stuff like that. So is everybody happy with the pay? I see he has a lot of strong support with that, but is that true for everybody? Now, as it relates to Krishan, she wanted to be paid $200,000. He said no. She said, well, what about $150,000? He said no. And they had a big falling out over the pay issue as well. She felt when she was pregnant, he didn't protect her and that he stabbed her in the back. Some fans agree and some fans, you know, don't disagree, right? So what we're going to do today on this topic of Lemuel is what's going on. And the first question I have is, can he be trusted, right? Can he be trusted as a person? Should people be trusting him? You know, is this the Lemuel that we're seeing? Is that who his true personality is? Because Stunner Girl made a lot of claims about him kind of handling some of the people. Is that true? Like, and I'm not taking her side at all, but I just want, you know, and I really don't have a dog in this fight, I'm going to be honest with you, but I want to know if this is true. So what I'm using today on my hands, of course, is Dragon's Blood oil. All right. This is the first time I'm using. And also I'm using some Indian powder. And this is for, you know, it's a spiritual incense, but it actually is about for enemies. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this reading and see what's going on around this man, Lemuel Plummer. And like, are they going to take him down? I mean, like will his channel survive? Will Zeus be thriving in 10 years from now? Let's ask that question. The first question is, can Lemuel in general be trusted as it relates to the women, the baddies, the cats, just as a good person? He has the Ten of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and then he has the Five of Swords. You know, in all situations, you have people who are going to say he's a great person, right? I feel good. I'm happy. I'm cool. He didn't made an opportunity for me. You know, I was the underdog in the situation. You look at every one of the cast members, right? In some shape, way, or form, they're the underdog, right? This opportunity really gave them a life raft, if you will, right? That's how you look at it. So some people you're going to find, hey, you know, this guy gave me a chance. You know, without him, he's put me on my own show. He's put me in a show. He's given me, a nice solid income, you know, when I did work with him. So you're going to find some people being happy. This is why you're hearing Floyd Mayweather say stuff, Jason Lee saying stuff, you know, contributing to things. But he's doing it with he's doing certain things with certain people, right? So you got good feedback, and that's multiple people, right? Good feedback. And then you have the not so good feedback, which is in your Queen of Wands. This happens more with women though, guys. So just remember that. his interactions with women are a little bit different, right? So with his Queen of Wands energy, and I can't speak for all women, and we'll ask about some specific people, but in that Queen of Wands, this represents, some people may say, you know, I didn't get the right pay. I don't feel like I was paid the way I should have been paid. It's not so much about my check clearing, but you know, Krishan said something about her money being a little funny. You may hear other people saying that too, right? Also too, having challenges with women. Some women come with some baggage. It is what it is. Let's remember who you're dealing with. You're dealing with women who come on the show to fight, and they come with certain energy and certain personalities, and that may be what he's up against too, because he does have the Five of Swords, which is actually having to defend himself in some way. But the Five of Swords also represents he's sneaky. All right. So I can see where he's had challenges with women in terms of, you know, just conflict in general, dealing with different personalities. But I can also see where he's been sneaky. Everybody's not 100% happy, and everybody won't ever be 100% happy. But I will say they have more than 2 and 3 people that saying they have a problem with Lemuel is the way he does business. And eventually you're going to find out, especially with that Five of Swords, that could be 5 or more people down the road in the future that can come out on him and say, hey, you know, because he's not well loved like y'all thinking. They have some people that may come out on him eventually. There's some lingering resentment. And you could call it a disgruntled employee. You can say what you want to say, but there's some merit to what Stunner Girl is saying, and there's some things to what Krishan is saying. There's an air of truth to it. And to it. But yeah, he has a lot of supporters that feel like they are happy with what he produces. So yeah, of course you're going to align yourself with a Jason Lee. You're going to be on the up and doing this, doing that. Because he has a big audience and he has a lot of, you know, he has a big voice in media. Oh yeah, you're going to get with Mr. Boxing guy over here and pay a pretty penny because you want to look like that star boy. You know, you want to look like you got that, you know, you could pull that and do this and do that. You want to work with somebody like Diddy. And you want to have he wants to present a certain lifestyle, have a certain thing. So yeah, with certain people, he's going to do certain things. Everybody ain't going to be the same way with everybody. So just don't get it twisted. Everybody ain't 100% happy. Nobody will ever be 100% happy with the situation as it is, right? So can he be trusted? To some people, he is completely trustworthy. And to others, he's questionable. That Five of Swords in reverse represents some people that got resentment for him, all right? The question I have, and I'm going to ask this in a general way. But then I'm going to specifically go to some people. And we'll just pull this and see what this is saying, because these are trying to fall out. The question I had in my mind before this even fell out was, has he ever tried to deal with other people on a show before? Like, has he tried to have sexual relationships? How has he tried to advance people? This is all for entertainment purposes. This is allegedly, this is not set in stone. But he has, and you saw this fall out, he has in his energy the double card and the 3 of Cups, right? This could represent for Mr. Lemuel some truth to that, right? 3 of Cups is third-party energy, right? Third-party energy with some of the people that he's surrounding himself with. Devil card, of course, to some degree, this represents being playful. This represents pleasure. This represents sexuality, having sex. And this actually all represents cheating, especially when he has a girlfriend and or wife, right? That represents cheating. He also has some another message in here, and this represents living a double life. This represents being treacherous. I wouldn't be surprised if in some years from now, Lemuel ends up on on the billboard like, what's the boy name? P. Diddy, right? He's talking about P. Diddy has better things to do. You might want to watch it yourself because you might need to be finding some better things to do too. Because even in his 7 of Pentacles energy, this could represent having some trouble coming your way. And it's not right now. It may not be at this time. Right now, this is a distraction. These are young girls that you're fighting against. It's going to be somebody that's going to step up for real, that's going to be really believable. Right now, he could play it in Krishan's face because Krishan is considered explosive and unstable or whatever he considers her, right? What were the words he was using? I don't make emotional, erratic, whatever the words he was using, right? Stunner girl. She's hateful. She's bitter. These are younger girls that he can kind of play and manipulate with a little bit. But down the road, you may that be a different story. This is actually 1 to 7 years, so it may not be on top. It may be sooner than later that one is here. But this may represent where Lemuel maybe have something to worry about. This is a worry aspect as well. And this is people who are not, and some of the stories are going to be 100% on, and they're going to have some of the stories that people are going to be just jumping on a bandwagon, similar to Diddy, right? Similar to some of the situations where they're going to have some people that have some tangible stuff, and they're going to have some people that's going to be embellishing a little bit. He needs to really watch himself too, because in that Ace of Wands energy, they're going to, again, this Ace of Wands is where a lot of people are going to be talking about he's feeding his lower desires, right? He's actually, having certain energy and conversations and alluding to certain things. There was a lady named Winter that actually said that he pretty much was like, hey, allegedly, like she wanted 20 bands. Then she wanted her own show. Then he kind of was like, well, I'm about to get a room. We're going to ask about that specifically. But this Ace of Wands really represents a person who could be feeding their desires in some way, right? Even with that 6 of Cups in there, that means some more information could come out soon. That's why I say sooner rather than later in his 7 of Pentacles. So just know, Lemuel, for right now, you can play with Krishan, you might could play with Stunner Girl, you might could play with some other people and suppress them. But eventually, your duplicity, the double life, sexual devious ways, lower desires, all that stuff is going to eventually come out. It won't look too good for you, okay? So it definitely shows in his messages that he's not as innocent as he looks, guys. And he definitely has third-party energy here. It's amazing, too, when I see some of the girls that are claiming, like the girls that they're identifying as somebody he messed with. Like the girl Winter actually said this happened with her, allegedly. The girl, I don't know who is trying to deny the claims. But they look nothing like the girl he's with. Isn't that amazing? That just shows you what he's up to. Like, that's what I'm saying about double life. Okay. So let's go ahead and so we do know that other people will expose him, right? We do see in his messages that he's and he's gonna have a tower moment. It's coming. So just know this could actually affect his entire his company. That tower represents the foundational shift. You get too many young girls coming out saying you're doing A, B, C, and D. You attempted A, B, C, and D. Brother, you're going to be in a world of trouble. This is why you got to watch yourself. And again, there's going to be some people that's going to be telling the absolute, is truth. There's going to be from their truth. And there's going to be some other people that's going to be embellishing. It's going to be some stuff. But he's going to have a tower moment coming up in his messages, which is going to affect his business and his opportunities and how people view him and people work with him. So that's what it shows in his messages. Give me the energy around Stunner Girl. She is the one who's been the most vocal. She left. She was in dispute over her, like how he was paying her when they were on the road. Is Stunner Girl telling the truth? Is she embellishing this? Or has she been provided false receipts? Or is there any truth to what she's saying? Again, has she been provided any false receipts, led astray? Give me the energy around Stunner Girl. I don't know none of these people's first name. Page of Swords, Queen of Wands, Four of Swords, Queen of Cups, Star card, Knight of Cups, Queen of Swords, and the Hierophant. The stuff that she's been told, she really feels like this is legit to her, right? Hierophant is in her energy. This talks about inappropriate behavior, right? Being romantic or romantic towards cast members, right? Remember, she's got, and also too, some of it to me, you do have Page of Swords with it. To me, when you see that, I do feel like they got some receipts somewhere. So to support some of this. So it's not just all fabricated in the air. Even in her Queen of Wands. Now, Stunner Girl does have an air of resentment with him. So some of her drive to expose is their problems with each other. But she still has the Queen of Swords on her side, which represents there's some truth to what she's saying. That means she's very clear and she's standing on business. And whether people want to change this story or not, she said what the hell she just said, all right? But she does have some aspects in here with that Queen of Wands and Queen of Swords. Queen of Wands and Queen of Cups. Or you could see, Stunner Girl doing something little. Hey, I don't know her. I don't have no dog in a fight with her. I do wish she could watch her delivery, especially with that Sierra situation. Why would you do that? That was like my only problem with her. I don't really follow her like that, but when I saw how she went about that whole Sierra situation, why would you? Sierra is a beautiful woman who's paved the way for a lot of black women. Why would you sit there and disrespect her like that over a beat? Over a beat, right? Why? To me, it was so disrespectful, and she didn't deserve that. And this is, a lot of these girls. That's why their careers, people don't respect them. And when they have stories like this, people don't feed into it because you're disrespecting an innocent person, right? Over a beat. Anyway, back to this. Stunner Girl has her own agenda. She is the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups here. And that just talks about she has her vice, right? I don't like the way they did me, play with me, playing in my face. And the Queen of Cups is also here. The Queen of Wands is also here as well. And that talks about how she feel like they tried to suppress her. So she believes that they did try to suppress her. At the end of the day, Stunner Girl, I got to keep it real with you. And I think you're beautiful. I think you're beautiful. And I think you're doing your thing. And hey, but... And your star will continue to rise despite all of this. I know, some people's like, you got to watch it in the street. You're speaking your truth. But at the end of the day, the Zeus did help you with your platform. Zeus did push you to the forefront, even though you had your own platform. Sometimes you got to, I appreciate them for giving me that hand up. Like there's a certain amount of humbleness that needs to come. Some people don't feel like they need to be humble, but that's not going to get you nowhere. A lot of people who act like that, they don't get them far. So you have to give credit where credit is due. You can't just sit here and act like I was that bitch before Zeus. I'm gonna be that bitch after Zeus. No, you was that bitch, but they put you out in front, put you in a place, a position to really win, gave you a bigger audience, right? So sometimes you have to humble yourself and be able to acknowledge that even despite everything that's going on, even with the Sierra B. Okay, we didn't get clear. Maybe she didn't want her music associated with something that you was rapping on. I don't know. Bottom line is, you just got to be careful, because what's going to happen is, and I can see Stunner Girl continuing to grow, but you gotta, you know what, you ain't going to get in this. Independent is great, but it's all about too, how you deal with people. How you deal with people. Look at the baby. Career was up in there, up doing good. All that drama, confusion, mess. Look, struggling. He said he lost so much money for his mouth, his behavior, and his actions. So the only thing I would say was, Stunner Girl, have balance with it. Speak your truth, be honest who you are. Be authentic, but be balanced. All right, so give me the energy around Winter. Winter said in this interview, she felt like Lemuel was trying to get... She felt like Lemuel was trying to get at her. Sun card. 5 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, and then you have the 9 of Wands. But listen, Lemuel trying to get at Winter, one of the women he wanted to come on to baddies for 20K. Empress, High Priestess. So he was doing something. He has the Sun card and the High Priestess here. Sun card is a yes, and then the High Priestess actually acts like backdoor activity, secret activity. 9 of Wands is here too, doing something. Definitely, I don't feel like she went through with it. I don't remember if she said she did or not, but I don't feel where she went through. I think she did say she didn't go through it. This shows she didn't go through with it, right? This is what it talks about. More women, again, are going to come out and say, this is her truth. What's her name? Winter. So she's speaking the truth. Let me stop this for a second, y'all, because this thing looks like it's about to go clean nutty. All right, hold on. Let me stop this for a second. Let me bring this up. This thing is going nutty. Let me just stop that for a second. Hopefully that doesn't look too bad. Just stop all this. It's going crazy. I also have in there, not only do I have the incense powder, but I actually put in a dragon's blood incense too. So that was an enemy incense powder, but then I actually threw in a dragon's blood actual cone, so that's why it was going bananas. But anyway, we're gonna smoke the whole house out, child. So this is her truth that she said. If she said what she said, she's standing on what she's saying. Winter shows up as telling the truth. She has sun aspects on her side. He's gonna deny it. But she has the sun, which is a yes. She has the justice, which is the truth. And she has the high priestess, which means somebody was trying to do something with her behind her back. She does show she did not go with the, they didn't do the plan. I think it kind of just like, I think she kind of like didn't go through with it because he kind of just let it go, or they let it go. Because this shows in the messages, it just like, it almost feels like it just didn't happen. Because you know how you make a plan with somebody, somebody didn't reach back out to somebody, they just went their different ways. It just almost makes feel like they didn't like hook up because they just kind of fell off the radar. You know, once she started, it almost makes you feel like once she started asking for that show, because that 4 of Pentacles there, once she started asking for more, he was only wanting to do that 20K. All right. So that is on Winter. I will, we're going to move towards the next person. All right. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to move to the next person, which is about, so this says Sunny Girl shows alleged text messages of Scotty admitting to sleeping with Lemuel. All right. And then there is, I guess the same person is doing some type of interview to see if somebody ever tried to sleep with her. Then Lemuel comes through and he says, in his defense, people out here having nothing better to do other than, let me shuffle while I'm talking. People have nothing better to do. People out here have nothing better to do other than make up wild stories and lies. Probably because Zeus isn't signing their checks or funding their lifestyle anymore. Folks need to find some business, preferably outside of Zeus. Or if they want to be on baddies, just say that. It's amazing how somebody is actually accusing you of sleeping with people and giving STDs, and you're still saying either go away or come be on the show. Like, what? Like, baby, could never. Not in my business. But anyway, let me make sure. Like, that's so weird. So he one of those people, he's like a Tasha K person. But good is good and bad is good, right? You know, he don't give a damn. Like, he is still have to come on to you. A coin is a coin. So he said, if not, they should go focus on getting their monthly listeners up on Spotify. All right. So certain cast members have been off the show for damn near a year, but they don't have any other business or lives except to watch me. That's what he's saying. Zeus will be, I guess, in their mouth for the next 30 days. All right, Miss Lemuel, give me the energy around this whole thing where she was talking about Stunner. A Stunner girl was talking about, what's the girl's name again? There was a video around, have I ever slept with my boss or something like that? Or been with my boss? Oh, Stunner girl shares alleged text message of Scotty admitting to sleeping with Lemuel, but getting checked. Give me the energy around. What's that? She's going to deny it. But it shows third-party energy here. It shows us some third-party energy here. Right? She's going to deny it, of course. This talks about, I don't want to be looking crazy. Right? She's going to say it's a conflict. That's what it talks about. In her messages, but the story has been told to more than one person, unfortunately, right? And you can see even in the 3 of Pentacles, this has been told to more than one person. So if you didn't want people to know about whatever you said was going on, then you probably shouldn't have been talking to people, right? And therefore, and you definitely showed that there was some sort of problem, unresolved issue that happened. And even in your Eight of Wands, this talks about some type of dispute going down. But it shows there's a third-party situation here. Confirm the energy around, again, these alleged, are these text messages real? Give me the messages. Are they real? And they have the 9 of Cups, the 7 of Wands, the 2 of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and it's coming up as they are real. Now, this is at a time when she was feeling what? Pissed off, heated, mad. Also too, she felt like she had, she felt like she was in no loyalty to them at that point. 2 of Wands, 3, also 2, 7 of Wands energy is here. She talks about overwhelmed, embarrassed. You know how people get emotional and just get online and start talking about stuff? People get emotional and share stuff and then they regret it. But there's an element of truth about them having some sort of connection. I'm going to just say that. What's this girl named DJ Sky? She is such a freaking cloud chaser and such a freaking smoozer. She's literally like, she's such, like, I be seeing her like up under Kanye West and putting stuff out that Krishan hadn't even approved, and something about she left a child in a car, and she's just kind of under everybody like a little she's like the worst cloud chaser ever. Give me all in the chats and everything. I mean, like, what is going on with this girl? But what she actually told this, because she alluded to that she heard some stuff too, or she was saying she actually kind of confirmed it. Did she hear that too? And she has the devil card trying to fly up, and she actually, a cloud chaser could even tell the truth. She doesn't strike me as a liar, you know what I'm saying? She just like strikes me as a person that likes to be under, you know, she likes to say I was with this person and I was with that person and I was over here and I was over there and I was in this concert and I was in this with, you know, she always kind of paints this picture like she's always like she's with the who's of who, you know, like, girl, like, what? Anyway, which the information she shared, it does show like this was told to her. Again, the double card is back for Lemuel, and this represents something that somebody told her about the behavior. So she's not lying on you either. I don't know, a lot of this. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and so the bottom line is, I'm not going to try to ask about everybody, but let's ask. I want to ask. Krishan fell out with Lemuel after she felt unprotected, right? And, you know, in her messages, and she does show it here in her messages. Ace of Cups, bad intentions, right? False heart energy, somebody not doing something the right way, and she feels like he's tried to in some way play in her face, right? They have like some type of, and this, I'm gonna say this words, but it's not that deep, love-hate relationship. That's what it talks about. She always felt that he had a certain level of phoniness with him, right? This is what it shows in her messages. I'm gonna be honest, when I watched the episode where and the judgment card is trying to pop out, I was about to say that when I watched the episode where eggs were being thrown and she was in the, you know, even though I felt like she wasn't right in some situations too, like the whole you know, trying to fight, you know, get with the fight with Will Vicky and all that. I'm like, Krishan, you're pregnant. But that's what the show is, to fight, right? But, so even though she saying Lemuel was wrong for bringing enemies, remember, guys, you know, we have the power to control who we engage with, who we entertain. Could have just sat down and collect your check and had your people in front of you and just went about your business. But with that card of judgment, I was about to say in terms of Lemuel, because really this reading is about him too. This reading is mainly about him. This represents he made an error in judgment on how he dealt with things. And he didn't protect her, because why would somebody be in a situation fighting, or some people fighting around her? Why would they be in a situation where you could clearly see the sister's jealous of her? And the sister was, like, we could see that from a mile away. Stevie Wonder can see this, right? Her sister has a certain jealousy and venom towards her. It was just a matter of seconds before she was going to turn on Krishan. So you technically brought Will Vicky on, right? Who you knew Krishan had a problem with. And you brought her sister on, knowing her sister had other motives too. Krishan had other motives. Her sister had other motives. I'm just saying, like, you brought people on that you knew were going to be in direct conflict with Krishan. You didn't protect her in that judgment card. And that just represents, so what if that girl would have been hurt on your show pregnant? It would have been more problems, right? He got to do better. You too old for that. All that security, y'all didn't do a good job of protecting people, right? So that's what that talks about. So I do agree with that. You know, I was like, man, I was like holding my breath every time I saw her doing that. But also that falls on Krishan too, because you sign up for a quick buck, heavy pregnant, with people who clearly had a problem with you. You can see her sister is jealous of her from a million miles away, right? I wouldn't trust Tiki if I had it ever in life, ever. ever, right? So, should Krishan ever trust Tasiki again? Give me the energy around. Should Krishan ever trust her sister Tasiki? Because I was like, I could see, like, that's like, Krishan, you're bringing somebody onto the show to be your protector who's literally, like, jealous of you. What sense does that make? Give me the energy around Tasiki. Can Krishan ever trust Tasiki? And she has the Four of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, the World card, the Six of Swords. They look like they're trying to build their relationship back. But this represents eventually they'll have conflict, right? Tasiki and Krishan are stronger together. But again, can't really trust her, right? The Nine of Wands is somebody who will always have a motive to undercut you under. You got to remember, Tasiki is older than Krishan. So Tasiki always feels like she can, she want to son Krishan. Krishan is younger than Tasiki. Krishan gonna always want to boss up on Tasiki. You see the dynamic, right? So the oldest one is going to want to, son the youngest. And then the youngest one, who's got the most power and success in the business, is going to try to, boss up on the oldest. They're going to always have problems, guys. They're going to always have problems with this, right? I definitely feel like they're moving a little bit out of that. But, and they're both going to still make their money. But just know, like, unless y'all both get to a place of humbleness with each other and really work on the relationship, y'all going to be back in that same position. Which represents, I don't trust you. You don't trust me. You have bad motives. We're going to have obstacles. We're going to come to a crossroads, right? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I be watching the way Krishan be talking to some people sometime, even her friends. She got to watch that. That King of Wands is here, and that represents Lemmy, all right? And that King of Wands represent doing stuff deliberately. Doing stuff deliberately. Would he love to see Krishan back on the show? Hell yeah. She bring a big following. She bring it. But you got to pay for that, sir. You know what you're bringing. This girl got a strong audience enough to be swatting you and swatting your whole company down and swatting your views down and swatting your percentages down. Swatting even though you're fighting against it, they've made a big impact and a big dip. Will Lemmy try to get to a point where he and Krishan will come together? And will he pay Krishan for her time? Will he pay? Give me the first, before I do that, give me the energy around. Krishan is claiming that Diddy jacked Lemuel up at the party. Did that happen? I could see that happening, yeah. Because he looked like one of them little nerdy guys that got some money and then got some friends. Yes, that's what he looked like to me. Give me the energy around. Did he get jacked up? There's something that happened here, guys. The King of Wands is here, and this represents something happened. Something definitely happened, right? You see this man wearing a bandage around his head, that Nine of Wands. Something happened. So Krishan not just making this up. He may have not seen it as that way, but it definitely shows, even in that Eight of Pentacles, something definitely happened. This has a lot to do with, like, almost like, just imagine Diddy is sitting back, even though he ain't the expert on treating women. People are sitting back watching all of this play out in real time, right? We're watching Krishan on Crazy in Love with Blueface, and they're fighting and destroying each other, and just like a lot of people in their feelings about that, right? I feel like something happened. Hermit card is here. Will Diddy ever really talk about it? Not with all the shit he got going on, right? This represents it was an isolated incident. He may not ever address it, but it definitely shows in that Queen of Swords energy, like something happened. So Krishan ain't just telling you nothing. Blueface, what's his name? Diddy, he got a temper like this. This represents quick temper, right? So something happened with him. Now Krishan exposed the fact that he got jacked up allegedly, and I believe it happened. Will he offer Krishan the money to come back? Will he pay Krishan? Will they ever get into a better place? And you never know. It's not off the table. Remember, all this drama and this beef. Should Krishan come back? That'll be a hell of a season. So I'm not taking it off the table. I believe that he could come back around. If he actually, think about this for a second. bringing Krishan back and paying her what she wants, right? I'm not saying like he gotta, he needs to negotiate. But baby, he would make a coin, she would make a coin, and it would be explosive. You better think about what you're doing, because she was bringing Krishan back could make money, could make real money. And especially with all the drama coming back in, like y'all could even do a thing where y'all show how y'all exploded and then came back together. You better capitalize off of that. Anyway, this is the end of the road for me. This is your girl, Chris Blue Nola. This reading is for entertainment purposes only. Take it with a grain of salt. There's a lot of truth to what's being said out there, Lemuel, and you need to watch it. You need to get people to sign NDAs and all this. And let me say this, especially with the type of females that's coming to that show, they're all, not all, let me rephrase that. There's a lot of people that are in that show that are at the bottom, they're at the rock bottom, right? They're willing to do anything to get that. You saw many people, I'll take that little $100,000, everybody, they got a lot of people who will take that because they in California, they living for pillar to post, they rock bottom. He takes a lot of people in, a lot of people who pretty much underdogs, right? But with that comes a certain type of person, and not all of them are bad. I'm not saying that. You got some really cool people that's on the show, but you may run into some people that's going to also too really expose you because you're doing something you ain't got no business, and they're going to have some people that's going to embellish on you a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if in 7 years from now, Lemuel is, in a real situation. This is part 1. I think we should do a part 2 with some of the audience questions, some of the subscriber questions. And I have questions about that girlfriend that he's with. Like, does this lady really like him? Because sometimes the energy between them is a little bit off to me. And does he really like her? Because if you kind of being accused of dealing with certain type of looking women, is she really your type? And are you really her type? Right? It's giving me Rick Ross and Christina Mackey situation. But anyway, except this lady is a little bit, of course, she's more low-key. I think she's beautiful. I don't have nothing to say about her. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share if you care. Don't forget to book your appointment at BlueNolaTarot.com. I'm done. Peace. Blessing. Bye.